Okay, here we go. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a fluke rig, and what I'm going to start out by doing is taking my green thread and wrapping it around the shank of the hook very nicely. And a lot of the time you guys like to use finishing knots at the end in order to secure the looser thread at the back from what you didn't use, and I don't like that. So what I figured out a way of is using this to clinch it instead of wasting my time with that. And then you're gonna snip off the excess string, throw it wherever your garbage is. And what I like to do is take the hair that I use deer hair for right now, especially for fluke rigs. It seems to make the difference, a very good difference I should say. I have yellow, but white's a little bit more of a reflective color, and I tend to catch more fluke on the bottom with light colored areas instead of the darker, like browns and blacks and whatnot you guys would use for striped bass and whatnot at night. So now what I like to do is, before I get to the eye of the hook all the way, I like to cut off the extra hair and just to expose the hook a little bit. The only problem with deer hair is that it's really messy. Gets all over my shirts when I'm working with this. It starts to suck after a while. And there you have it. As you can see, the eye of the hook is right there. So what I'll do is I'll continue along this way with this. Now sometimes I tend to add a little bit of brown to it just to make it look more flashy, I guess you would say. But in this in particular time, I'm just gonna ground down the rest of this deer hair. Now, again, instead of using a finishing knot, I like to take this and do a couple of overhand knots instead of the finishing knots, because I think this clinches a little bit better. And when I'm done with this, I would usually epoxy it and let it dry for 5 to 6 minutes. But I'm out of epoxy today, so it's starting to suck because I have to replenish that. So instead, I'll cut that and see if I can find the enamel nail polish that I also use, because it works just like, it doesn't work as well as epoxy, but it does work. So just do that a little bit, and as you're giving it time to, it gives it a nice darker color to the green instead of that light green. And as you're waiting for that to get done, you can look through your weights, find a medium-sized weight about that big, leave that right there. Go through your barrel swivels, find a small one about that big. Find whatever leader material you're going to use. I like to use 40-pound test for fluke. I know it sounds big and it's pretty thick, but they have really, really nasty teeth. So I prefer to use that. But at this time, again, I'm running low on supplies. So I will have to stick with the 12-pound Berkeley Big Game lime green color that I have. And I will gently blow that down just to make sure that it's good. Move it away from the eye of the hook. And what I need to do sometimes is take either the point of my scissors, a toothpick from out of my box, or they give you a little tool with the extensive fly tying toolkit to poke things with. It's I don't know the exact name of it, I just call it a little poker. And what I like to do is I like to do that, put it through that way, take the end of the line, put it through that hole that I just made, like so, twist it 5 to 8 times, twist it about 7 times there, go through the little hole, back out through the end, moisten it up, add that, take your scissors, cut right about there. Now you want to take the other end before you tie on your barrel swivel. Usually I'll add a little spinner for flash, but you want to add the weight like that, make sure it goes all the way down, there's no nicks in your line. Then you want to tie on the barrel swivel. Again, go through the little hole, and then back into the big hole that you ended up just making. Moisten the line, tighten, cut the tag end off, and now, there you go. You can use different bright colors, but there you have it. And there is your fluke rig. So, that's about it for this video. I've made 2 rigs, both white. Like I said, that color seems to work pretty well for the fluke around me. And that's it. Alright, bye.